Brazilian friends, today I come to talk about an urgent issue that is sparking a wave of outrage. Thousands of immigrants, victims of a state propaganda scam, sought opportunities in the United States, the so called land of freedom, an opportunity only to face persecution, deportation, and, in many cases, to be treated as criminals simply for seeking a better future through hard work. Yes, they are losing their homes, jobs, and belongings, but worst of all, they are losing their dignity. Given this grave situation, I make an urgent appeal to the Brazilian government. It is time to act decisively. We need to turn our embassies and consulates, currently inefficient and barely functioning, into real sanctuaries for these Brazilian citizens. Places of refuge where they can seek protection, legal assistance, and support while the government arranges flights to bring them back home safely. What I am proposing is that Brazil implement an emergency plan to assist our compatriots in the United States, which is no longer a safe place for any immigrant, legal or illegal. This plan should include opening the doors of Brazilian embassies and consulates to immediately shelter persecuted citizens, providing temporary housing and basic support, organizing humanitarian flights to bring these Brazilians back to our country with dignity and security, ensuring that upon their return, they have access to reintegration programs, including financial aid, psychological support, and employment opportunities. Immigrants were lured by years of deceitful propaganda from the US government, which portrayed the country as a land of opportunity, the American dream, and freedom while secretly depicting their home countries as places of oppression and hopelessness. If the US were truly the land of freedom and opportunity, why hasn't it created legal pathways to legitimize immigrants? Instead, over the years, it has systematically adopted policies of exclusion and deportation. Ironically, it's not so called communism that is seizing the hard earned belongings of workers, it is American capitalism, deporting immigrants who contributed to the country's progress through their labor. What is happening with Trump's rise to power is eerily similar to the early days of Nazi Germany, when economic failures caused by administrative incompetence were blamed on Jewish people, fueling a dangerous wave of hate. And what's worse, this neo Nazi hysteria is spreading worldwide, making it crucial that we learn from the past and act now before this political and emotional disease consumes more nations. History has already shown us the consequences of ignoring the warning sign. Back then, the world united too lately after millions had fallen victim to terror and genocide. The new Jews of this rising neo fascism are immigrants. Immigrants are not criminals. They are fathers, mothers, workers, and dreamers who believed in a better life deceived by a system that only wanted cheap labor. Brazil cannot turn its back on them. It is our duty as a nation to ensure that our citizens have a place to turn to in times of despair. It is time to show the world that Brazil stands by its people, that we are a country of solidarity and compassion. That is why I directly appeal to the Brazilian government to implement an emergency plan. I have in my hands a draft proposal that can be tailored to meet this need, and I make it available should the Brazilian government be interested. As for the United States, I warn all immigrants, if you can, leave the country now. It is no longer safe for any legal or illegal Jew to the wave of hatred fueled by Trump's era. Soon we will see the consequences of losing immigrant labor. We will see what happens when there is no one left to rent homes, when tourism declines, leaving hotels, restaurants, and attractions deserted, and the entire economic supply chain starts to collapse. Let's see if Elon Musk's robots will start shopping for clothes, eating in restaurants, renting homes, or visiting theme parks. It will be both tragic and ironic to watch. But the United States is not just a land of inhuman figures like Trump. It is also the birthplace of great leaders like Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, and many others who understood the true meaning of humanity. However, until the American people wake up and reject this rising tide of hatred and extremism, until they stand up for true freedom and democracy, the world must unite to protect those who were deceived. For now, let's turn our embassies into sanctuaries and bring our compatriots back, not just from the US, but from anywhere they need refuge. Together, we can rewrite this story. Thank you.